Thank you. Senator Kaine.
Exquisite timing, Mr. Chair.
Impeccable.
I'm very interested in asking questions about Honduras, where I lived in 1980 and 81, and I appreciate, Madam Ambassador, you being here and you're being poised for that position. I'm sorry that I've been at other hearings and haven't heard questions that you've already been asked. But, the tragedy of Honduras is I lived there when it was a military dictatorship, and things were awful. I knew people who were oppressed by the military. I knew some people who were killed by the military. It's worse now. You think the move from a dictatorship to a democracy, just like magic, makes things better. I don't think that's the case. And I didn't think I'd ever say that, but in recent years, becoming murder capital of the world, the control of narco-traffickers, the deep corruption by the past government especially, but they were not unique in that, has created situations that are just so grim for Hondurans trying to live everyday life. Some of the challenges they face are directly related to our pain. If the U.S. didn't have such a tremendous hunger for illegal drugs, and we were willing to send cash south to pull drugs north, many of the communities in Honduras, many of the neighborhoods in Honduras and other countries would be a lot safer and more secure than they are. And so their pain is connected to our pain in ways that we have to own and try to be creative in solving. Talk a little bit about the opportunities that the U.S. has with a new government in place. President Castro was inaugurated recently, a somewhat controversial election, but thank goodness an election that compared to previous elections was widely viewed to be fair. It was called relatively quickly. There was a concession. I know right around the time of the inauguration, there was sort of a skirmish on the legislative front. We're used to that too, skirmishes between an executive and a legislative branch, but putting the past administration in Honduras in the rearview mirror with its corruption, its abandonment of anti-corruption and anti-transparency initiatives, its connection to drug trafficking in the United States, what would your intention be should you be confirmed in terms of trying to start a new chapter in the relationship that would be positive for the United States and positive for Honduras?
Senator, thank you very much, not only for those remarks, but for your long-term interest in Honduras and the importance of the U.S.-Honduran relationship. I agree with you completely on all of that. I think that we do have a unique opportunity here. I mean, there is a new president. She was inaugurated just recently. She won in a very strong turnout by the population of Honduras. So she really comes into office representing the yearning desire for democracy and anti-corruption programs and freedoms and security by the people of Honduras. And that's really powerful, I think, for an elected leader to arrive in that position. And I know that the United States government, obviously I'm not involved in this yet since I'm pending confirmation, and I'm waiting for the Senate to decide if that's a good choice or not. But there have been many senior officials, including recently the vice president, who traveled to Honduras to meet with her. And I think that there are a lot of areas that we have in common that we can work together, things that she wants to do to make things better in Honduras, and things that we've recognized that are good for Honduras and are also good for the United States. Obviously, we need to continue to help them address the security challenges that they have faced. Things are not good, but things have been worse in that regard. Some of those violent numbers have come down in some of the areas that we've invested in. We've seen some significant improvements there. Clearly, they face strong economic challenges. There have been hurricanes that have destroyed the key parts of the country, in addition to just the normal pandemic challenges, and then historical challenges. So it's very important to work with them to do things like opening up their regulations to make it a better place for outside investors to come in. Previously, Senator Rubio was talking about the possibility of nearshoring production. I think there's tremendous opportunity in all of that, but it really is going to be up to both the president and her new team and the new Congress to be able to get themselves organized and working together as a team to pass the legislation that's going to be needed to stabilize and open up the markets there. And then the judiciary is going to play a key part, because if businesses don't feel confident in the fact that they can invest and that there's rule of law, they're still going to be reluctant to do that even with the best of regulations. So I have a broad agenda in front of me. If I'm lucky enough to be confirmed, I look forward to confronting those challenges. The team on the ground down there has been doing a great job already, and I would just be a new part of of this very strong team.
Thank you, Ambassador. One final point, Mr. Chair, quickly. I would hope as you work together with our Vice President's office and others in the administration at this root causes analysis and you look at economic opportunities. I sometimes think when we approach a problem like that, we look at what company can we get to make a commitment to invest in Honduras. And that's hard to get a commitment from a company that's not already there. I would really focus on the American companies that are already there. There's 250,000 textile workers in the Northern Triangle who work for American companies, usually using U.S. cotton to then make clothing. There's American retail companies. I'd really listen to those who are already there and ask, what could we do that would make you hire more people, that would make you expand? I think that's usually a higher likely play than trying to get somebody new to come in who's never been there and doesn't really know the culture and the people. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Kaine.